We want to talk more about the immigration speech, and we have a very special guest in with us, and I know you're super excited, Mr. Sports
I watched
fanatic.
him play forever. Because he played at Shea Stadium, a stadium I could actually get to as a Long Islander for the New York Jets for years, and then he finished up with a really good team, the L.A. Raiders, Oakland Raiders. The name of your book is Liberalism: How to Turn Good Men. Burgess Owens is here. Good men into whiners, weenies, and wimps. Burgess Owens, welcome back to the show and the first time to the couch.
Listen, guys, it's a real pleasure, and look forward to chatting with you about this for sure. Absolutely.
First off, when you talk about immigration, that's the main topic we're talking about in the show. Donald Trump really mentioned that you should want to be an American, that you should assimilate, you should prove that you want to assimilate into the country. Has that been lacking?
It's been lacking. Actually, the history of our country shows that those who assimilate best are the races that do the best in this country. And in our particular case, as a black American, that's my focus, is to bring our race back to what I grew up with. We need to understand that when there's uncontrolled borders, we get hurt the worst.
Yes.
And so if you understand that,
why do you
well, because we're at the very bottom of the employment rung. And until, if there's competition there and the raises are going down, the black community is one that is hit the hardest. So understanding that, and we need to keep those wages up, controlling borders is important for that.
That is basic economics. I mean, that is the most basic economics, and I wonder why that's not clearer to people.
Well, it's... And this kind of goes back to my book. At the end of the day, it's an ideology we're dealing with, guys. And there's socialists, there's Marxists, there's atheists, and we have to understand that either we go in that direction or we go the route of the Judeo-Christian values of hard work, looking at each other inside out versus outside in, and doing it the right way. So common sense comes down to the way that our ancestors came through, and we need to get back to that in a big way.
Burgess, I want to play a soundbite for you and get your reaction. This is Donald Trump talking about President Obama and Hillary Clinton, saying they have committed gross dereliction of duty. Take a listen.
President Obama and Hillary Clinton have engaged in gross dereliction of duty by surrendering the safety of the American people to open borders. They support visa overstays. They support the release of dangerous criminals from detention. And they support unconstitutional executive amnesty. Hillary Clinton has pledged amnesty in her first 100 days. And her plan will provide Obamacare, Social Security, and Medicare for illegal immigrants, breaking the federal budget.
And he wants America first. Your reaction?
Well, you know, it's when you start to understand that there's an ideology and that there's a Democratic Party that really is trying to transform our country, and it does that not by assimilation, it's not by the values that we've been brought up with and we've all grown up with, it's bringing people in that learn to become Democrats. And that to me is a very devious approach. There's a very hard heart to change our country, not by the way of growing and serving and living our country, learning our language, but actually bringing different ideologies into our country so that they can become dependent on the Democratic Party. It's a very long-term strategy, and it's working for them. And I think it's sad that we're at that point that we allow a party to do that.
You know, if you talk about the southern border, that's the Hispanic vote. Something else is happening on Saturday. Donald Trump will be addressing an all-black church in Detroit and hopefully taking questions and trying to go directly to the African-American community. Is his outreach over the last 3 weeks, in your mind, working?
I think it is. I think what's happening, there's actually three segments in our community. There are the elitists, and I call them the loyalty black class. And those are the socialists in our country, the entertainers that will never, ever understand America because they're above it all. Then there's those who believe in victim is valor. But then there's a third of Americans, black Americans, feel the way I do. They're trying to figure out how can they take advantage of the American dream, take care of our kids, love our country and love our race. And that's really the connection that Donald has to make at this point.
He hasn't yet.
Well, he's in the process, but it's going to take time. And it's going to take actually black Americans, conservatives like myself, to stand up and actually be bold about the fact that we should be proud of who we are. Proud of, and the fact that we can have very wealthy people who've done very well that do not understand, do not appreciate it. That's part of American, that's the American way. It's the way the debating process. So it's going to be a process, but it's going to come down to just putting the message through and seeing some results. One thing the Democratic Party has not done, they've given a lot of promises. losses for over 60 years. The results are Detroit, Ferguson. You go wherever they have laid their place, you find out that there's misery, black misery in a big way.
Yeah, the fruits of it have been ugly.
Yeah.
This title is the greatest thing I think I've ever read. How to Turn Good Men into Whiners, Weenies, and Wimps. Unfortunately, we have to go to headlines, but I hope that during that time you can explain exactly how that works.
He's talking about liberalism.
Yeah.
Liberalism, or how to turn good men into whiners, weenies, and wimps. That is a fun title.
Well,
Burgess Owens, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Congratulations to everything in business and in sports, and now with this. Good luck with it. Thanks, Burgess. I'll talk to you on radio.
I appreciate it for sure.